Okay guys, I need to show you something. I found a few clips that I've been thinking about and I actually been fucking with. I want you to take them and watch them for yourselves to get value from as much as I did. I feel like the past few weeks, these have been fueling me and now I give them to you. Yeah, I know you guys might be like, wow, a fucking Tate clip, but hear me out. This shit is good advice. I don't care if you fucking hate the man. He has good advice. Like some spots are like spotty, some spots are like okay, like I can see why you don't like it, but this dude got advice. And this is one of the clips. If you just, you gotta extrapolate this shit, man. You can't be like, oh, misogynist, fuck this guy. Listen to people. I think you really, if you hate people or you like people, you still gotta see what they have to say and take what you like from them. And don't take what you don't like from them. It's that simple. Side note.
Let me tell you a secret about the universe. Everybody always says, if you tried your best, that's all that matters. The best is all you can do. If you tried your best, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if you lose if you tried your best. Most people have heard that before. But there is a secret to the universe that most don't know. If you actually try your best, you can't lose. Not pretend to try your best, not try your best 90% of the time, not try your best with excuses. If you genuinely try your best all of the time, all day, every day, it's impossible to lose. God is watching and he rewards those who want it the most. If you want it the most, you can have it. It's a competition. Every dollar you want, the house you want, the car you want, other people want, you have to win. You have to want it the most and genuinely do your best because most people aren't capable of doing their best anymore. To get up every day, whether they feel like it or not, and perform regardless. That is the secret. You cannot fail if you try your best.
I think it's true though. What he's saying definitely is true. I feel like if you really do try your best, you will be rewarded. Like it's not gonna, the shit that you want isn't gonna fall into your lap. You have to go put in the hours, work for it. And you know, you'll try your best sometimes and you'll fail. You won't even get it. But that's the test. The test is seeing if you're willing to go through those hardships, those failures that will build you even further to get it. Because sometimes we try, you know, let's say we're trying out for a sports team or we're applying for a job. You don't get it the first time. Does that dictate who you are? That you're a failure? Personally, me, no. And what that also is, a test if you're going to keep going. If you're like, oh, you know what, I'm not good enough. That one-time thing, it's just a one-time thing, I didn't get it. Or you can just keep going. So, well said. I mean, there's so much I could go into this. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time. I want to make this video short. But, I mean, from that advice given, I agree with it. Like, some people really do have to get up no matter what because they have people to provide for, a family to provide for, whether they feel it, like it or not. Some people are put in that position where they have to. And if you're watching this, there's a chance that you don't have to. It's your choice to get up and perform. Think about that. You're so selfish. Like, you don't have to. It's just fucking recreational. But like, maybe your dad does. Your dad has to get up and do shit to provide for your family. He has to. And you have the luxury of, you know, eating some fucking Doritos chips and laying on your ass, picking your ass, worrying about when she's gonna text you back. Fucking idiot. It genuinely saddens me. And you know, I was this person too. I'm not gonna lie. It genuinely saddens me how people take things for granted and how people get comfortable. They kind of conform slowly because their environment is comfortable. I mean, sometimes I don't blame you, but you really have to wake up. You have to acknowledge it and say, you know what? The people around me, they're kind of losers. My friend group is, you know, not ambitious. They do the bare minimum. They go out on the weekends. Is that the person who you want to be? Like, you really have to put it into perspective. And once you only put it into perspective, when you see through the red lens, the red glasses, the red lens, whatever, then it's just like, wow. You really ground yourself. You're like, oh wow, maybe I'm not doing the best that I can. And there are people out here who are doing even more. So I think that really is a big dictator. If you have everything you want and you still decide to work like you have nothing.
It's a picture of a violinist. The violinist, his name is Joshua Bell. He went and played in the New York subways for 45 minutes, and a handful of people stopped, and a couple clapped, and a couple of people even gave him some tips and a hat. He raised $30. No one knew this, but the violinist was Joshua Bell. He's one of the best musicians in the world. In that subway, Joshua played one of the most intricate pieces ever written with a violin, and that violin was worth $3.5 million. 2 days before he played in the subway, Joshua Bell sold out the Boston Theater, and the seats averaged $100 a seat. This experiment proved that the extraordinary in an ordinary environment will not shine and is often overlooked and undervalued. Go where
For real.
you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
This is true. This definitely is true. I am still figuring out my target audience, but the people I'm gonna assume are the dudes who are like, you know what, I'm tired of kind of being lame. Like, I really want to get to the gym. I really want to grow every day, and I want to make something worthwhile. I want to look back in 1 year and say, damn, I fucking did that, instead of settling for some mediocre shit. So with that being said, a lot of the times, maybe whether it's your friend group or your environment, the time where you spend most, let's say you're just starting out, you're not going to be appreciated. I definitely got this a lot when I stopped playing video games. My friends were like, why you stop playing video games, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, because I don't want to be you. I don't want to just play video games every day after school and just be fucking brainwashed to this dumbass shit that doesn't matter. Iman Ghazi said, you're majoring in something minor. Like, video games isn't, what is that gonna do? Do you make money off of playing video games? No? You do it for fun? Okay, well, that's fucking stupid. You're wasting your time. Get to a point where you're so yourself around people who, when you hit something, when you get a good GPA, when you hit this goal, they celebrate with you. They're like, holy shit, bro, good fucking job, I'm proud of you. And you know, the next step is when you hit this, and we're gonna do this now. They're like, no way, bro, I can't believe you did that. We gotta go celebrate, we gotta go. You know what I'm saying? You really have to find the people who are there for you to, you know, support you. Not because you need them, because you're self-reliant, and on top of that, it's amazing to have an environment of people who build you up, because sometimes it's hard to do shit by yourself, but you need to, and having that support system is just amazing. It's like lone wolf versus pack of wolves, like, you know. All right. This last video is some relationship advice that hit me pretty hard recently. All y'all players out there are gonna take some good pointers from this, so listen up.
When he was writing $100 Million Offers, I said, there's this really good book called The Motive. And I think if you wrote a parable like that, it might be a really cool way of framing the book. But I actually just wanted him to read the book. He read it and he looked at me and he just goes, I'm sorry, you're right. People come first. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I'd never heard it from his mouth. The book really talked about, there's two leaders, and one kind of rules by fear, constantly thinking about money. And the other one is a leader who thinks about people first, who puts the people's priorities over the businesses at times. And how in the end, that leader will beat out this leader. I think he read it and he was like, I'm too much like that guy. And it wasn't even that much changed. He just defers to me much more on those things, which makes the split of our roles much more effective.
Listen up, because I'm about to give you...
No. I definitely feel like we are so business orientated, which is fine. I think we should be, but I don't think we should neglect, you know, the people that we have in our lives, our friends, families, lovers. I mean, obviously you need to put work first, especially when you're grinding out shit. But it's just like, personally for me, how I want to do things, which I'm sure is different than how you want to do things. But personally, I'd like to skyrocket my business. But you know, we'll talk on the phone like once a week. We'll hang out once a week, like, or twice a week, or once a month. Like, I'm not gonna ghost you for long periods of time and kind of not nurture our relationship. I'm going to at least maintain it and give it enough effort while all while knowing that I'm grinding. So in this chapter of my life, I need you to be more understanding of my lack of presence. It doesn't mean that I don't like you. I like you. I fuck with you. I want to know what's up with your life. I want to know what's good. I say that to say, just don't deprive people of your essence, your presence, your energy, and be more personable. Sometimes we're just closed off, we're locked in, hanging out with someone. And this is why it's better to only hang out or only talk to people when we can be present. If we're thinking about other things, oh, I'm thinking about this business plan and all this shit, and we're hanging out with someone, it's gonna show. They're gonna see that we're not with them, so you might as well just not even hang out with them or call them. Shorty calls you up, and she's like, hey, I'm in the middle of something, I gotta call you back, or my mind's not in the right place, so let's talk when I'm a little bit more present. You gotta, communication, man. You really gotta say what it is, what it isn't. And I think this little tip is just that, communication. You gotta nurture your relationships. You gotta be more of a leadership figure. You gotta be personable to that person. Understand that, yeah, I'm not depriving you. Like, I still, you know, make sure they're heard and shit. So I think that's what she was referring to. Subscribe, like 100,000 subscribers in 6 months. Only you can prevent wildfires.